I see you, girl. You're a little bit sassy. You like your shoulders out. So we are going to do the cold shoulder two-tone or color blocked hoodie. And we're actually going to use 2 graphic hoodies that I got from the thrift store for this one. So let's do it. Hi everyone, I'm Angelina and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. I am super excited because we are in the midst of a series called Choose Your Own Upcycle Adventure. If you were a kid, you used to probably read those books, Choose Your Own Adventure, where you could pick the ending, and if you didn't like that ending, you can go back and pick another ending. Well, this is the upcycle version of that. If this is the first video in the series you watch, the rest of them are linked in the description box, so no worries. You can get into the action with everybody else. You could go back to the beginning and kind of see where we're starting from. But yes, if you enjoy this video, this concept, definitely subscribe so you don't miss a thing, because if you guys blow this series up, then I will be doing others, t-shirts, blazers, we could do men's dress shirts, whatever you guys want to do. So yes, hit that subscribe button and let's get right into this video. All right, so I have my 2 hoodies for this particular project. I have my inspiration. And what I want to say about the inspiration, whenever you're using inspiration, do not expect for, I won't tell you what to do and what not to do, but I don't expect for it to come out exactly like this. This is just my inspiration. I feel like if I expect it to come out just like this, I'm setting myself up for failure, because 9 times out of 10, it won't be exactly like spot on like this. And then 2, I am cutting myself off of opportunities for it to look like amazing, like way past this. This is really simple. It's just an inspiration. So I feel like if you have hoodies or you're thrifting hoodies with these graphics, and it's just so a shame, like every hoodie in the thrift store has graphics, and most of them, the graphics aren't so great. Like this one, I'm sure this is really important to the Muchin basketball team, but to anyone else, it's, you know, it has no meaning, you know, to them. Once these go to the thrift store, it's just like, okay. So I think that projects like this are perfect for hoodies like this. I really like the graphic on this one, so we're going to use this as the top, and then we're going to take the bottom off of this one. And of course, I don't, you know, with the pieces and parts, I don't throw them away. So we'll find another use for the rest of it in a later date, a later video maybe. With the first one, I'm going to decide how much of it I want to cut off, and that means adding a pin like right when you try it on, like right at the edge of your shoulder, right there on your shoulder, and add a pin there and decide how far you want to cut down. For me, I think it's like right above my chest, but I really want these words to stay, so I'm going to cut here and right at the edge of the design. And then for this one, I'm going to focus for the very first, you know, like this is the first cut, so we want to be as conservative as possible. So I'm going to go right in the middle of the hoodie, right below the design, and just make an angle, and I may curve up when I get here. Probably most likely will. And once again, I'll curve up when I get there. All right, now it's the hardest part, which so many of you have said that you're super scared of. I don't know about any other country in the world, but I know in the United States, there's a high, I guess, value put on clothing in general, and especially like on hoodies for some reason. I guess more for younger people than older people, but if you're gonna, you know, make something cool, you can't be afraid. So I'm going to cut actually a little bit further over just in case, you know, okay, because I can always cut more off later, right? And it's also because there, I see some like little stains and stuff here that wouldn't come out in the wash. So this is a way to revive a hoodie that may have stains or holes or different things like that. All right, let's cut the other one. Use sharp scissors to cut this one as well as possible, as straight as possible, I guess, because I don't want to finish the edge. And if you're cutting, just a rule of thumb to get your cuts to be like really straight, you can see right there it's not as straight. So I'll show you. When you get to one, take the scissors all the way up and then start the next one, and that's going to help you to not have those jagged edges. So now let's see what we have. All right, so I think that's what I'm going for. My only concern is how far it's gonna hang down on my shoulder. Yeah, I didn't want it to hang down like super far, but this hoodie, it was bigger. Like the original size of this hoodie is bigger than this one. So that does make a big difference. We're going to go ahead and pin this and add a basting stitch and see what happens. All right, so let's talk about what we have so far. So I have the just basic stitch across it just to keep it together, and there's a couple of things I want to show you. So first of all, you can see it's kind of pulling, and it's because I pinned this side. I want you guys to see that for a second. But one thing is, you can see that, okay, if you want this part to be above your chest, then make sure that you're not worrying about any type of logo that hangs low. I don't mind it. I actually think it's kind of cool, so I'm okay with that. I looked at it back and forth, but I'm okay with it because I just really wanted the logo to stay, and I like the contrast of what it's doing there. So, and then you can see in the back, it's really cool in the back too. I am actually glad I kept the V. Now, I was looking at the picture and I noticed that in the corners, under the arms, it looks like it is pinched, like it's pinched together right under the arms. So if you can see right here, just like my zipper hoodie, when you zip it down, you're getting like all of like the side of your bra there. So unless you're wearing a bandeau, you'll be able to see what your skin, all of that underneath there if you move in certain ways. That's not too bad, but you know, you might be concerned about that. I do like how loose it is and just how flowy it is, but I did add a safety pin on this side to see what it would be like if I pinched it and added a stitch there. Another thing I could have done was just not cut this straight down and cut a piece underneath the arm and then connected that all the way around, and I can still add in a piece that goes from the turquoise to the back of the turquoise. That's going to just be a cover piece so that this stays as flowy as it is and it's not constricted. Or I can pinch it on both sides, and that's going to make it fit a lot tighter in the chest area. And so I need to make that decision. You guys let me know in the comments what you think I should do. Yeah. Do you think it should be like this or more loose and flowy? Oh, and I almost forgot one last thing. I don't want it, I like it raw, this part raw, but I do want this turned under. So I'm actually going to turn that under. So I'll have to take it a loose right there. Turn this under and it'll hit that corner part of my shoulder. That's what I was talking about. That, see what a difference that makes in the fit? Yes, that looks so much better. So you can tell, like, look at one and look, see? I look like really boxy, and then this is going to give me a different silhouette. So yeah, just you want to hit right on that bone, right at the top of your shoulders, I think, for this type of fit. You know, we all going for different fits. So to take away a little bit of that boxiness and get the curve of your shoulder, then you take it back like that. All right, so I decided to do the extra panel underneath. I didn't like how it felt when I was just adding the safety pin or just pinching it underneath the arms. It just felt tight, and I felt like I wasn't going to be able to get it on afterwards. So I'm just going to cut off some more of the sweatshirt. Didn't really want to do this because I wanted to use that whole bottom for something else, but we'll still use it, just probably not in the way I was thinking. But I'm going to cut this piece off, and I'm also going to cut it in half, and we're going to add it underneath the arm. So we're definitely going to pinch this, fold it, And we need to take this seam out. So I never really explained what a basting stitch is. A basting stitch is basically a loose stitch. So almost like if you're gathering, you want to turn your stitch length. See how easy that came apart? You want to turn your stitch length to the highest setting. And you don't want to do a back stitch. I think I did a back stitch right here. Just a force of habit. It makes it easy to take apart if you need to take it apart. So I'm going to fold this. We can add some clips, clippy, and underneath, not so it's visible, just right underneath, like kind of at the same level as that right there. I'm just gonna add this piece, and it's just gonna keep the side of me a little bit more covered so I can wear a regular bra. And I'm going to sew that to there, and then put in this hem, and this one will be done. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with adding these little side pieces is sew in the side pieces. When I sew it in, I want to make sure the seam allowance is the same as what the hem is going to be. So once it's folded, it'll be the same, like that. Because we're doing this in hindsight, you know, it makes it a little bit more difficult. It would have been easier for you to, you know, make this decision before, you know, decide what you want as far as like under your arms before you cut it. But, you know, I've never done this project before, so I had no way of knowing. All right, so now I'm going to go over to my other sewing machine, and I'm actually going to hem the edge that goes next to the shoulder, that goes up to the shoulder, and then, you know, also top stitch this as well. But I'm going to use a twin needle. All right, so you can see I have two threads, similar colors. They're actually not even the same exact color. And then I have my double needle down here. There's one right there, one right there. They come together. It's not actually putting two needles in, it's one needle. And I just have a regular mechanical sewing machine. My sewing machine came with one of these, so I thought to myself, can I purchase a wider one? And that's exactly what I did. I will be doing a video on how to thread it. It's really simple. I mean, honestly, you just thread it the exact same way. Just when it comes down, just put one on one side and one on the other side. But I will do a video dedicated to that. And you can see the 3 threads, 1, 2, 3. One is the bobbin and the other 2 are the top threads. There's no special stitch or anything like that. It just does this weird little zigzag thing underneath. Perfect double stitch. All right, so we're back at my other sewing machine, and people ask me all the time what this is. This is a Sailrite Fabricator industrial sewing machine. And I absolutely love it. I'll have a video about it if you are interested. But I'm going to go ahead and sew back down the ends. We took that apart so that we can get this all in. So I'm going to sew it back down. And this time I'm not going to do a basting stitch. I'm going to do a actual stitch. And really, honestly, I didn't really do a basting stitch. I just did a regular stitch. I didn't back stitch it for the most part. So I'm going to go back, sew it, and back stitch it to make sure it stays nice and intact for a very long time. All right, so I wanted to show it to you just one more time just to make sure that you understood what we're doing. We added this piece, and let's talk about this. So I didn't even measure this piece, probably could have, but what's easier for me is that if it's still too big, if I feel like I want it, more in, then I'll just take it like this, run a stitch down here, and bring it in. I mean, easy peasy. That is probably one of the easiest upcycles we have ever done. Super cute. All right, so I'm so excited for you guys to see how this turned out, but I do want to tell you guys about my free Facebook group so you can share your upcycles with other like-minded, positive people, and my upcycle class if you join the highest level of my membership group. So click that join button down below to learn more about that. All right, let's see how it turned out.
Don't you look at that? I said, my friend, what you looking at? I think she is something for me. Excuse me, miss, it's my first time here. Maybe you can show me out of here. I think she got something indeed. And
I really like this. I know that it's a little bit away from the inspiration, but I like mine better. I love how droopy the shoulders are. Like, I really do. I was a little bit nervous about it at first, but just correcting that part on the side made it okay for me, because I really did like that silhouette on the side. So yes, I am super excited about this. If it was like a couple inches longer, I would totally rock it as a dress. Right now, I could style it as a dress for you guys, but I just decided to throw on some jeans, throw on some sneakers, because this literally will be worn like this. I remind myself of my son. He says literally all the time. He gets it from me, but sometimes he can't say it so well, so he says legally. I literally will be wearing it all the time just like this. So I'm super excited to have this. I'm so glad I did it. And the fact that it says hustle on the front, which is so me, always hustling, trying to get you guys your videos. Let me know if you're going through the series, which one is your favorite? Is this your favorite? Let me know in the comments. And if you did it, how would you do yours? Would you do it a little bit higher up on the chest, or would you do it more like mine? And definitely check that description box for the rest of the videos so you can see them all. And if you like this hoodie that I've done, because I have done hoodies outside of this series, then I also have the link for this hoodie in the description box as well. This one has a zipper that goes all the way around the back to give it, once again, that cold shoulder look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.